Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rising Dawn patch notes for August 4th, 2015. We're going to be skipping the new god and moving into the skins. First up we have the Afterlife Anubis skin, which is a tier 2 skin for him. Pretty awesome indeed. You know, tier 2 skins are pretty cool. They're not like the most amazing, but for 200 gems they're not too bad. Next up we have the Renegade Awilix skin. Not only does this look like a friend of mine, which is really creepy, it's also a cyberpunk skin, really cool. The cat and everything is all decked out. Here's a listen to the voice pack.
If you like Awilix, I can take over.
Self-driving cats. The insurance companies will never allow that.
Awilix, you're awfully quiet this morning.
Just appreciating the scenery, pal. Just appreciating the scenery. I run a full scan, cat. I don't like the look of this place.
Roger, I'm detecting elevated heart rates, body armor, and... Awilix, that man is armed with a sword.
Touché. Time to ride.
And then moving right along, we have the Gamma Slam Cabrakan skin, which is, well, it's pretty obvious, but if you don't know, Hulk Smash, Cabrakan Smash. Here's a listen to his voice pack.
Where can be calm after Cabra smooshed you? Anger management is for puny gods. Everyone make Cabra so not happy!
Really, really cool. You know, not a fan of Fat Loki per se all the time, but every now and then he's kind of fun to bust out. Next we have the French, you know, it's awful. I'm sorry if you're French. I apologize. All for One Freya, or Freyja. Technically I believe that's her real name, but anyway, one of her real names, variants. This is a Three Musketeer skin, mainly. There's a few lines in there you might recognize for some popular movies and whatnot from back in the day. Here's a listen to her voice pack.
My name is Freya Njórsdóttir. You captured my father. Prepare to die. I'd tell you all about myself, but why bother? You'll get the point in the end. All for one and one for all! Never slain a god. They just keep falling onto my blade.
And yeah, it's probably my favorite skin that they released. The Awilix one's cool, but I like the Freya, especially with the kick with Freya I've had lately. Then, you know, there's the alternate skin for that guy. And then we had the Gold Legendary and Diamond Medusa skin, for those wondering why Medusa didn't get her recolor before Alpwash. This is why. Very cool, very intricate. I love it. Anyway, moving on. We have the voice packs for all those. We have the Clap and Wave. We have a Vimana card update for those of you who are little Mana fans. It's a skin I use when I play him, so yeah. Arena now has grass that deteriorates over time. Sure, cool, whatever. It's not like that's a major thing, but it's kind of neat. Added artwork for the login page. Revamped the lobby store. Cool. Miscellaneous changes. Let's try to go over these as quick as humanly possible. Added support for Mode of the Day skin, granting skins temporarily. The Mesmerize announcement pack has been updated with new lines. Readdressed the T screen crashing for some players. Changed player icon name to Avatar. Really? Okay. God item screen will default to minimize when the god is randomly selected. Fixed league qualification bars dodging games in total qualifying games played. Fixed god page showing incorrect values for attack speed. Fixed emote titles not showing after selecting one. Fixed mouse scrolling wheel not working at god skin page if scrolling wheel wasn't over a card. Alright, now let's get into the meat of the things that I really care about real quick, which are item changes and god changes. Quite a few of these coming up for items that weren't necessarily picked up as much or just didn't feel quite right. So let's go over these real quick. First one is Breastplate of Valor. They reduced the mana by this by 250 and reduced the cost by, what is that, 250 as well. Apparently you paid for mana on this item, but on Transcendence you don't pay for the mana. It's really weird the way they value items. It's weird, okay? But they claim that you paid so much because it had so much mana. which I don't know if I agree with, but whatever. They made it cheaper and reduced the mana on it. Pretty good. Silver breastplate going with that change as well. Next we have Shield of Regrowth. Basically, they decided to increase the movement speed and increase its duration. So they felt like, no one's buying this item, let's make you run faster and run a bit longer. So basically you get a sprint if you have a healing ability. Not sure that's going to matter, not sure anyone's going to pick it up, but, you know, maybe. So next time we have a Soul Eater. This item's getting a pretty good buff, in my opinion. I kind of like it. So you're increasing your physical attack speed by an additional 15%. You are increasing the basic lifesteal that you get by 20%. The aura is giving you 15 power and 10 physical protection to allies, and it's removing lifesteal aura from. It's removing the lifesteal from the aura. Kind of a, I don't know, like in arena, or excuse me, in assault, I would pick this item up for 3+ people, 3+ physicals because of the lifesteal. I'm not so sure I would pick it up anymore for that. I think the reason for picking it up would change. Celestial Legion Helm is getting an increase of magical power. If you remember a little patch or two ago, they buffed this item to make it a lot better, and now they're buffing it again because it's still not picked up. I wonder why. Runic Shield is getting new aura, reducing physical or magical power, excuse me, by 50, and in reducing attack speed by 20. This is to counter a lot of the attack speed gods, you know, Freya, Chronos, Kuang, those gods. You know, minor things as well work with that. But anyway, so yeah, that's the change to that. It is now a magical witch blade. Ensign is getting a pretty decent change as well. So it's going to be giving you 15 cooldown baseline, right? So the 20 power, the 40 protections, the 15 baseline cooldown, which is great. And then as you build stacks up, you're going to gain health. So they're kind of taking the old Gauntlet of Thebes and sticking it on this item. And so you will wind up with whatever 60 times 40 is, because in the top of my head, I am terrible at math. Yeah, moving right along, going with this. Warded Shield is getting a slight nerf. Enchanted Buckler and Warded Shield, the base cost of Enchanted Buckler is reduced, and increased the cost of Warded Shield by 75. Oh, that sucks. It's getting more of a nerf. Silver Talisman is taking a slight nerf, losing 75 health off of it because it was just too efficient. You can now buy Heartseeker and Doom Orb in Assault. Pretty interesting. Tokai's Ring no longer provides magical protections, but it now provides 100 health. Alright, God changes. We got quite a few of these. Let's move on as quick as we can. Wildstorm, fixed Polynomicon passive activating on targets when casted at max range. Apparently it wasn't supposed to do that. Upwash getting the nerf bat. His ultimate will no longer slow. Also, apparently his fleeting breath was doing too much extra damage and healing. So, slight nerf. Big nerf, slight nerf. The first one's a slight, the second one's a pretty big nerf. The slow means that, you know, Gem of Isolation is going to be more valuable on him, most likely. Athena, Preemptive Strike, fixed. Affects being able to reset her basic attack progression when spam canceling this ability. Defender of Olympus. Oh, that's a weird one, actually. Defender of Olympus, fixed her arriving graphics. Persisting on an ally after death, fixed audio. Awilix Moonlight Charge, fixed the knockup duration being shortened if the target was jumping. Fixed an issue where you could not pull Hui during a dive bomb. Ooh, that's a pretty good buff, I guess, to her. Not like a major buff, but you know. It technically is a buff. It's a fix, but it's a buff. Bacchus, fix the miss. Who cares? Bellona getting a nerf. Shield Bash, reducing the slow from 30% to 15 to 35%. So a slight early game nerf, late game buff. Eagle Rally is a flat out nerf. You can no longer go below 75% or 70-second cooldown. So really glad that's getting nerfed. She's really overpowered. Chuck. Just some fixes on his passive not working correctly. Crescent Moon improved the accuracy of the arc for Chang'e. Freya. Updated weapon trails for Frost Maiden, Standard, and Mastery skins. Okay. Passive. Kumakana. Fixed getting stuck on top of arena walls while being executed from Kuang. Okay. That's a thing. Loki. Fixed miscolored teeth for mastery skin. Ugh. Fixed Loki's hand clapping, blah blah blah. Okay. Just a bunch of visual stuff. Neza. Fixed being able to go inside of towers after... Oh, wow. Using on target. That would suck. Neath. Blah, blah. Okay. Nothing actually gameplay bug related. Knock Shadow Step fixed targets. Yep. Nope. Fixed Osiris walking through players while this ability was active. Oh. Yeah, okay. That's I guess a slight nerf to him. You know, whatever. Ravon. Well... He's finally getting buffed again. Which finally wouldn't be the correct word because he got buffed last patch. But anyway, overhead kick reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds at each rank, increases the damage from 55 to 195 to 70 to 220, or 220. Wow, 210. So a decent buff to it. 10 hand fists, shadow fist. Increase the health return by 5. Not a huge amount, but you know, something. And increase the damage by a decent amount. 115 to 120 to 215 to 120 to 260. So a little bit of a buff early game, really buffed late game. Mystical Rush fixed a rare occurrence where Ravon would get stuck in walls after... Oh. That would suck. Alright. I don't know if that's going to make him very viable, but we will see. I think that he still needs something, like his ultimate needs to be, like, CC immune or something, you know. Stuff like that. But whatever. Ratatasker. Finally getting nerfed to a point to where I'm not sure if he's going to be very... good to play at all. But anyway, decrease the travel distance of dart, and you can only do 2 dart resets within 10 seconds. So 3 dashes in all. In my opinion, they need to change Nemesis to kind of go along with this so that her dash has charges, but maybe that would make her too broken. Just my thought. Moving on to Sylvanas. Really the only thing to note is that his passive only works on melee basic attacks. And Xbalanque then taking a graphics after recalling. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. So let's move on to the thing people really care about. Let us look at Khepri. Khepri? I don't remember how they pronounce his name. But hey, here he is. So we are looking at another sun god for the Egyptians. His passive is called Fortitude, and it is a shield that is refreshed every 5 seconds. The rate is slowed to 10 seconds when in combat. No, it's slowed every 10 seconds while in combat, up to 15%. So basically this puts a small shield on your allies. And yourself. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, to himself and nearby allied gods. This is pretty cool. It's a very... it's like a Cabrakan. I don't know. I wonder which one's better, this or Cabrakan's. That's an interesting question. Probably this, because it, like, if you move outside of the range of it... Well, I don't know, because this is always like... I don't know. That's an interesting question. But anyway... So next we come up with his first ability, which is Abduct. Khepri lunges forward, dealing damage, and drags the enemies back. Well, dealing damage to everything in his way. If he hits a god, he grabs them and pulls them backwards. During the duration of this, enemies are crippled and silenced. It doesn't mention that, and silenced, going by the actual video. But you can still auto-attack him, so if a Kali or anyone like that, Osiris, he pulls them, or even a Hunter, he pulls them, they can basically beat his face in. But they can't run, they can't do anything else. Also note that his hitbox is the largest in the game. So yeah, he's huge. Alright, Rising Dawn. He basically shoots a sun forward. It reduces the physical protections of enemy gods. Deals damage to enemy gods. Every point, this is a really weird one. Every 0.3 seconds for 3 seconds. So it ticks a lot. That's interesting that they did 0.3. Maybe it's a typo. Maybe it's meant to be 0.5, but it says 0.3, so we're going with that. Allies that are hit take reduction of damage for the duration. And this is a pretty spammable ability. Every 10 seconds you can do it. Only costs 40 mana. So it's a pretty spammable ability. It's kind of cool. Everyone's claiming it's broken. I don't know who they are to say that. But Cyclone Spin said it, and he's one of the best solo laners, so who knows? Maybe it is. His next ability is Solar Flare. It is a delayed snare. He places it in a location. After a second, it goes off. He calls down the sun's ire. That's an interesting way to put it. Dealing a decent amount of damage, low scaling, but a decent amount of damage. If you notice, actually, all the scaling on his abilities are very low. Well, you'll see with his ultimate. So yeah, it's kind of cool. His ultimate is possibly the coolest. I don't know. He's not a god that's going to initiate, right? Like, he's going to be a keep his friends alive type god. And he's a giant beetle, which is kind of cool. But anyway, so Khepri blesses an allied god, immediately cleansing them of all crowd control, as well as granting them extra power, extra movement speed, and immunity to slows. If the marked ally would die, instead they were revived with a percentage of their health, maximum health, at his location. So essentially, and this works with executes, as you can see on the screen, essentially, he throws a bubble on them, or throws a thing on them, it buffs them, and then if they die, it kind of pulls them back. You don't get credit for the kill, but it's a really cool way to save your allies, possibly making gods like Anubis a bit more playable late game. You know, he can pop his ult, and then this guy can pop his ult onto Anubis, and then, you know, Anubis is standing still, but if they focus him and kill him, he then pulls them back. So then they see he has the buff on him, and they're like, oh, well, let's not kill him, and then he just does what he's supposed to do. 90-second cooldown. I wonder if the cooldown's a little high, considering it's a single target. I would note he can put it on himself. So watch out for that. But really cool god. Hopefully we will see some neat plays from him. The Abduct is kind of a worse Sobek pull, but yet better Sobek pull at the same time. As it's kind of he grabs and pulls them slowly. You kind of want to pull mages instead of pulling a hunter. His 2 is just really cool. If it benefits you, or just it rewards you for actually landing stuff properly. And just overall, his entire kit seems really cool and fleshed out. Sorry this video took so long. There was a lot of stuff to cover.
What did the iceberg say to the sun? You crack me up. A new day breaks for both gods and men. Bestowed upon you the power of the sun.
I apologize, French people. I do. I really do. But anyway, that's about it, guys. Make sure you follow the channel if you like this. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps me out a lot. Go follow me on Twitter. I also stream here on YouTube, so youtube.com/FalconSlayer77/live. Yeah. Or you can just look at the channel, look at your box video thing. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and have fun playing games.